Hi, I'm Newswatch 16's Chelsea Strube, and like many journalists here in Pennsylvania and throughout the country, I worked on Christmas Day. But Christmas Day here in Wilkes-Barre was a little different than previous years. You see, about a week before Christmas, Wilkes-Barre and our area was pummeled with snow, getting about 1.5 feet in many areas, and that doubled 2 hours up the Susquehanna River. So when it was forecasted for rain and temperatures in the 40s and 50s on Christmas Day, many of us knew that meant one thing: a potential for flooding. And if you know anything about Wilkes-Barre in northeastern Pennsylvania, you know it's no stranger to flooding. Unfortunately, on Christmas Day, we didn't have any newscasts until 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night. So I woke up Christmas morning and took to Facebook to tell people information they needed to know, especially if they lived along this Susquehanna River or the creeks that feed into it in northeastern Pennsylvania. Hi everybody, good morning, Merry Christmas. First of all, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I know most of you are probably asleep, and if not, you're probably opening presents and having a great morning. But I want to remind you that there are some workers right now who are spending their Christmas morning closing the Market Street Bridge here in Wilkes-Barre because a state of emergency has been declared as they're watching the river levels. Now, I know you can see how fast it's moving behind me. This river is moving very fast. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First, I know last night a lot of fire companies, especially ones in communities that have creeks that feed into this river, were reminding people to keep an eye on creeks near your home. I know we're talking a lot about river levels, and we're not saying a whole lot about creeks, but what you have to remember is it is all about elevation. If the creek that runs behind your house feeds into the river at a lower level than the level of the river, it's not going to feed into the river like it's supposed to. It's going to move backwards, and that's when you're going to have flooding. Okay, so if you live near a creek, you want to keep an eye on it. And I also bet some of you are thinking, well, Chelsea, come on, it's not even touching the top of the bridge, we're fine. Well, I want you to know that we're expecting this to raise significantly overnight tonight, later today and tonight. You have to remember, Sayre, Bradford County, Binghamton, 2 hours up the river, they got twice as much snow as we did. All that snow has to melt and it has to go somewhere. It's gonna go in this river. Now, we did have a lot of rain too, so you have to think about that. We did luck out. There was a storm that was coming up from the south and a little sliver opened up by us, so we did luck out. And I do have good news. The National Weather Service just changed their prediction from 34 feet for the river to reach to 32.5. So maybe that little opening in that storm that came through helped us and saved us that 1.5 feet. And I hope you're not thinking, Chelsea, it's 1.5 feet, please, what does that matter? But honestly, that 1.5 feet, it makes the difference between Mackinac flooding or West Nanticoke or West Pittston having to deal with flooding. So while you guys can please have fun, Merry Christmas, have a good time with those that you can be with, but just keep an eye on the river, keep an eye on creeks and streams near your house. We don't have a broadcast today until late tonight, so please stay with us on social media as we continue to observe river levels and the impact there. Again, I'm here in Wilkes-Barre at the Market Street Bridge because crews are closing the Market Street Bridge here because of a state of emergency. And you can just see, I mean, look how fast this is moving. After I was done news gathering for the day, I went home and had Christmas dinner. Then I came back to the river to give folks at home an update to see where the river was about 6 hours later. Right over, let me get my bearings. See where these white railings are right there? That's where I was standing earlier. So if you go back and look at my last video, that's where I was earlier. Where I was standing for the video this morning around 8 a.m. is completely underwater right now. I'm on the other side of the river in Nesbitt Park, Kingston side of the Market Street Bridge, and the water's rising pretty quickly. I'm gonna start to move because I'm just a little concerned. Be safe, everybody. There's some other people down here checking it out. Now, for those of you tuning in that don't know, about 2 hours north of us, they got about 40 inches of snow last week. And over the last 2 days, we've had very warm temperatures in the high 40s, low 50s, and a lot of rainfall. So all this water is melting, and the Susquehanna River comes through the Wyoming Valley here, and we have a flood zone. I mean, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania is no stranger to floods, but we're bracing for a lot of rain, and especially south of us too. Sunbury, Bloomsburg, those places are also dealing with flooding and a lot of issues. But here I'm on the Kingston side of the Market Street Bridge, and you can see these were put up today to keep the water from coming into Kingston. So that's interesting. I've never seen that before. It's kind of scary, kind of eerie. But I'll let you guys see it. Oh, it looks like we have some sandbags here too. I'm just snooping around. Nobody, no officials are here. Sandbags. So I don't know where those are gonna go. Maybe they're on lunch break. I mean, they deserve a break. They were working all Christmas Day, working all morning, setting them up. Pretty wild. But the river's rising high, about another 10 more feet they're predicting, so I don't know if that means it'll make it to the top. Ooh, where am I? Top of this bridge, Market Street Bridge. I don't think so. All right, guys. I know I was throwing a lot at you there, but stay safe, stay alert. Again, check river levels and what that means. You can Google WNEP river levels or go to WNEP.com. We have it there. And then you pick the town or city closest to you, Wilkes-Barre, Bloomsburg, Mashopin, and check out how high the river is. And then, you know, it'll tell you areas that might have some flooding, might have some issues. Check in on your family members that might be in some of those places. If you live in one of those places, I recommend having a go bag. Have that go bag ready with a couple of your essentials like a phone charger for the car, some water, extra pair of socks, extra pair of gloves. Hopefully you'll get some for Christmas. And take care and stay safe, and we'll check in with you again soon. I didn't work the day after Christmas, but I owed it to those people who tuned in and watched the river with me to give them an update as to where the river crested. Hey guys, good afternoon. So we're back. I couldn't give you the look I gave you guys yesterday without coming down to see it crest, right? So remember yesterday when I was at Nesbitt Park? Well, Nesbitt Park's underwater. So I'm on the levee right above Nesbitt Park. And you can see this is the Susquehanna River. No disc golf today, guys. Cold. And it's really cold today. Woo! You can see the wind whipping. But honestly, I think these low temperatures are what helped us. Because of these low temperatures, it slowed down the ice and the snow melting, and it snowed a little bit last night instead of rain. So that helped keep the river under 30 feet. The river is cresting at about 25 feet right now here in Wilkes-Barre. So we are dealing with some minor flooding here, like at Nesbitt Park. And we did have some creeks flooding yesterday, Nescapet Creek, the Sleepy Hollow section of Drums. I didn't hear of any other serious flooding. But yeah, it's about 22 degrees out here. And I'm walking along the levee, so I'll get to where we need to get to. This thing right here is a little sign, and if you check my video from yesterday, you'll see that sign was not submerged, and now it's almost completely underwater. But you can still see, I know it's hard to see from so far away. I wish Facebook Live would let you zoom, but they don't. This is moving still so fast. We're cresting at about 25 feet, even though initially it was projected to crest at 34 feet. So 10 more feet 10 more feet, I'd probably be right at the water. We were lucky here in Wilkes-Barre and northeastern Pennsylvania because the Susquehanna River did not reach levels originally predicted. But I thought it was important to get the message out so people could be prepared just in case something bad were to happen. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Luzerne County.